Welcome to Infinite Eight Institute, our metaverse headquarters in Infinite City. And today is a special day. We're going to give you guys a virtual tour of the metaverse. We're going to discuss some of the tools that are available to organizations working inside the metaverse. We are going to discuss a few use cases and then also our future plans. And so here is how you would join our actual metaverse space. You could either join the room through your mobile device or through a laptop desktop. You could enter through virtual reality, or you could just spectate. Suppose you don't actually want to go in the room, you just want to watch and see what other people are doing. So we're going to go ahead and we have our microphone that is accessible, right? And then we're just going to test our audio. All right, and we're good to go, and we are inside of the metaverse. Okay, so before we actually go anywhere or do anything, what I want to do is let me just take you into the main hallway, and then we can discuss more there. Okay, so this is the main hallway of Infinite Eight, and there's a bunch of different rooms that we'll be able to look at and that we'll be able to show you. But I want you to understand the different tools that can be utilized as well. And I'm going to cover some of the tools as we go on the tour. So I'm not going to cover them all at one time, but I'm going to go through all of them and make sure that I do touch base with them all. So if you want a person to come into the metaverse with you, you would just invite them, you would send them this link. If you have a landing page or a website, you can embed the code in your site, which I think is pretty dope. And what we're also going to do here, you can mess with any of your audio settings. Also, if you want to share, for example, you can share your camera or you can share a screen. And for example, let's just share our screen. And we are going to allow it to be shared. And so here you actually see our screen being shared in front of us, right? And I could place this on the wall like a projection. Um, I could be on, for example, I could be on Zoom and you could see me in the video and you can see my presentation. And then you can also manipulate the size of this and you can make it smaller or you can make it larger as well. So that's just something to think about. Okay. So we will go ahead and we don't want that. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, and we'll just go ahead and put this out the way for right now. We'll just put it over here. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to first go to our workforce room. And you can utilize the arrow keys if you're on your computer. You can utilize the mouse to move. Um, Also, with the mouse, you can teleport as well. And also with your A, W, S, D keys and the Q and E keys, you can move around, for example. And so this is our workforce room. Our mascot is the Infinite Eel. Okay. And as you can see with some of the designs and some of the illustrations on the wall, you can customize your metaverse. You can create all kinds of advertising and branding opportunities as well. And just like you saw that presentation, or you saw the actual desktop being captured and streamed, you can stream your desktop here on top of the board on the whiteboard, or you could have some type of deck, or you could even have a book. You could have all kinds of media materials that individuals will be able to access. Okay, so pretty cool. So this is our workforce room. Let's go to our K through 12 room down the hall. So this is where we conduct courses for our K through 12 students. You see, we have more traditional seating. It looks like a more traditional high school classroom. Here's an example of us placing a a movie, right? Or you could place a GIF as well, but you can place this on the whiteboard in order to allow learning to take place or the sharing of knowledge. Here in the back, we have a video that's also playing. You can see our flag, the Infinite Eight flag, waving in the wind. And so this is just to show you and give you guys a couple of ideas about some of the cool things that you can do in your metaverse space. Okay. If you wanted whatever you wanted your students to learn, for example, if you're using this as a learning space or a training space, you can put all those things on the wall. Never give up, indeed. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the breakout room. And this is breakout room number 2. And so we have the new scene that is loading. We're going to go ahead and give it a second. Sometimes this can take a minute. So we're entering the room now. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so for some reason I got kicked out of the session. So let's go back into our session. Okay, and now we are in the actual room, right? Okay, so this gives you an idea. So you have whiteboards that you can work with. If you wanted to draw on the whiteboards, right, you'd be able to do that, right? We can do a better infinity symbol than that, right? All right, so cool. We got our little infinite A going on. Okay, so that's how you can communicate with other individuals in this space and draw and share ideas. Also, you can take a picture with your camera, right? You can take a screenshot if you want to save it for later work. You can place GIFs in a particular space. You can use 3D models. For example, let's get a 3D model of a dog, and we can place it in the room. So we have a couple of Dobermans, right, that we can put in the middle of the room. Okay, and if I went up on them, right, like so you see them hovering in three-dimensional space, right? So pretty awesome. So I can have guard dogs roaming the Infinite Eight campus, right? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, right? Um, and so yes, that's something else that you can do. The other thing that you can do is you can change your avatar. And so under my avatars, this is the current avatar that I have right now. So if anyone else was in my metaverse space, this is what they would see. But also, you can create custom skins. This is a custom avatar that no one else has. And so, if you wanted to sell something like this on different marketplaces, you can do that as well. There are also other scenes that you can jump to. And this is what makes Infinite City phenomenal because Infinite City doesn't have to be a city where you walk around throughout the whole city. It can be a city where you teleport to different places within that city so you don't have to walk around and waste time going between places. Okay. Also, if you have different materials, like if you have a PDF or you have other files that you want to share, you can upload those as well. Additionally, you can there's emojis, for example, if you want to raise your hand, you can do that. Um, if you wanted to applause or different things like that, you could do that, right? And it would appear so someone knows that a hand was raised. Okay, so you can lower your hand, and then also what's cool is the chat feature. And so here, there's no one in the chat, but you can But of course, you can communicate in the chat. You can drop different files and upload those and share those within the chat. Okay. So there's different things you can do. A few other options: you can create new rooms. You can change the names of avatars. You can favorite rooms. There's different preferences that you can set as far as info for your rooms, etc. You can enter a streaming mode. Um, there's different community supports, all kinds of other things that are there. So it's a really awesome experience, and there's all kinds of things that can be done and that an individual can do. So let's just go ahead and go back. And we're going to go back into our room. And so notice that it switched rooms primarily because the rooms are they're linked together, right? The rooms are linked together. So when you click on a room and you go from one room to another, right? They're linked together. So you don't have just open doors that you can access via the break rooms. You have to click on a link to get into the break rooms because those are entirely different rooms. Thus, why we have to upload a new window when we enter in these different rooms. But it's not too bad. All right. Okay, so we are back in our metaverse space, and that's pretty much our tour. As far as future plans, um, as you can see, we have the capability to expand on this particular space. So, for example, you see that we put a merry-go-round and we put a swing set and a playground in the backyard or in the rear of the building. We also have a basketball court as well. And so there's other things that you can do, and we plan on actually creating and adding on a library as an addition where individuals can access all kinds of multimedia and different resources as well. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for joining Infinite 8 in the metaverse. See you guys soon.